Hello there, and welcome back to Tuesday for Tools. Well, it's actually Wednesday today, so Tool Wednesday today. I'm going to talk about the knife. Okay, so the knife for violin makers specifically. Okay, and the knife is really a great tool when you know how to use it. So usually what I do is I have 4 different kinds of tools. I mean knives. So I have 4 different sizes, as you can see here, and I'm going to walk you through each one of them, okay? So the knife is, of course, we use it to cut the wood, of course, and it's great because the shape of the knife can actually make it go into places you didn't realize you could use a knife. But it takes practice, and you need to, if you have a good hand, you can go almost to the finished surface of the instrument in certain places with a really good knife. So the first one, that is the one I use for carving violin bridges mostly. So it's a very small one. You can see it here. So the shape is basically like I've made on this design. It's a very thin and pointed tip, and the edge of the knife here is slightly curved. So the difference between if you have a straight curve on the knife and the curved one is when you have a curved surface on the edge of the knife, you can actually scoop with the knife. You can go into places without having the knife to shatter along the edge and make an uneven cut. So that's really like a basic difference between the 2 kinds of knife edge. So one is curved and the other one is straight. So we can basically say, to simplify a little bit, like a straight edge like this is great for cutting like straight cuts, and if you have a curved knife like this, it's more for curved cuts. Another thing is that when you use a curved knife, you can also create a surface that is actually a bit hollow. So that's great when you start, for example, doing a cello bridge, carving the feet here to fit to the top of the cello. And if you were to use a flat knife, like this shape here, and I would carve here, it would create like a flat surface, and then that makes it harder to fit it to the actual arching of the instrument. So that's why I use the curved one. Okay. So the curved one, then I can go really and cut away where I want to cut away. Okay. Another important feature with a good knife is that the back side of the knife is rounded. So one thing is this edge, but also the back side is slightly rounded in this direction, because that means that when you cut a bridge and you go into a small, very tight space, when you do the cut, the end of the knife behind will make like a smooth movement. Okay, so that's really important, and it's in the beginning many young violin maker students, they do this mistake when they make this kind of design for a violin bridge knife, is they make a really nice edge here and then leave this edge on the back completely flat or 90 degrees. But this one has to be curved as well. Of course it should not cut, but it should allow the knife to move in a smooth manner. In addition to that, I also can take out the knives. I've made a small screw here in the handle. So when I go to sharpen the knives, which I will show you in another video, you can easily just open here, take out the knife, sharpen it and put it back. And that means that when you use the steel of the knife over many years and it gets a bit smaller, then you can just move it out with the screw. It's really simple. Just pay attention to not adding too much force on the screw, because as you can see here on this knife here, there's a small gap underneath, because when I fasten this screw you will tend to open the handle, the wooden handle. So to avoid that, I've added a small band of steel around it, and that holds it nicely together. Okay. So again, to wrap it up, knife is one of the best tools you can use for violin making, if you know how to use them. That takes a lot of practice. And yeah, just, you know, take some scrap pieces of wood and carve away, and you know, then you can really learn yourself how to use the tool. Okay, so I see you next Tuesday for another tool video. Bye.